with it being winter, I think the first thing to talk about is winter techniques. What is kind of one your go-to winter fishing technique? Then what's one that's like a fun winter technique, something that's fun to pull out in the winter?
Yeah, so for me, I mean, wintertime fishing is all about finding the bait. And it kind of depends on what lake you're on. Are you on a really deep, clear highland reservoir? Like I'm on now, we're finding bait as deep as 80 foot of water, and the fish are on them. So when they're that deep, there's only like maybe two baits you can hit them with. One's like a 1 ounce jig head minnow, and the other's like a jig and spoon, like a real heavy jig and spoon. And besides that, you're probably not going to hit them with a whole lot. So if they're down there in that water column, you're going to have to hit them really deep, really quick, and you think a 1 ounce head's heavy until you try to hit a fish in 80 foot of water and you realize a 1 ounce head does not fall that fast. Um, and so that's always kind of like a go-to on these really deep, clear mountain lakes in the winter, like just something you can get to them really fast and hit them. Because if they're that deep, 40 plus foot, all they're seeing down there really is the silhouette of the bait more than anything. So I love finding them deep because they're usually pretty easy to catch because they can't see very good down there. Now, if they're up a little shallower or high in the water column, like so today we had a really cold morning and then it warmed up as the day went. We had like a real sunny day. And what you'll see is as that sun gets up, as you get into like the midday and the afternoon, you'll see a lot of bait get up high and a lot of the bass will rise too. And probably my favorite in the winter to catch them on because it's just so fun is a jerk bait. I love the new Yo-Zuri Pro Series jerk bait. And then as like you're more near like your shallower places like the Tennessee River, your shallower reservoirs, even like down into Florida, places like that. That jerkbait's just as efficient around grass and stumps and brush piles too. And then in the winter, you can't talk about winter fishing without talking about an Alabama rig. I really enjoy throwing an Alabama rig. It catches giant fish. And for me, it's kind of like a fun off-season bait because, during the Elite Series season, we're not allowed to use it. But like you best believe, like if the fish are around bait this time of year, that's going to be a Diamond Baits Alabama rig is like my favorite A rig to throw in the world. And what's cool about it, you can change your jig head sizes, your swim bait sizes. You can really modify an A rig actually a whole lot. But I'd say that's three baits like you got to have. You got to have your jig head minnow, your jerk bait, and your Alabama rig. Like if you're leaving the house without those, you're probably not going to have the best day in the world.